Hello and welcome to CR Wrestling Commentary. We're your hosts, Cedric and Cedric, and we'll be talking about NWA Back to the Attack pay-per-view. And come on, it's the NWA, so it's good.
Yeah.
I mean, it's good. See, whatever you think of modern wrestling, flip it, and then you got something good.
Yes.
Not a 180. You burn it to the ground, and then you lay sand on it, and then you got the NWA. That's how that worked. You know, you lay a thin layer of sand on it, and you got SWE. You know, you put on a thick layer of sand next to those, and you got Ring of Honor. So it doesn't matter what layer of sand, you've got something better than modern wrestling. Now, if you don't like what I'm saying because you're a fan of modern wrestling, please, I personally say go fuck yourself. I don't really care for the modern wrestling, and I know that the fans of modern wrestling don't like me. Now, while I respect and understand certain things of modern wrestling, I say modern wrestling is for the modern wrestling fans. So for the modern wrestling fans that like modern wrestling, I'm not against you. Love your modern wrestling. It's okay. Like two people finding each other, falling in love. You can't be against that. So you love your modern wrestling. Fine. I just hate modern wrestling. Whether it's wrestling in it, it is not wrestling. Ergo, that's why you got things that are coming up and need to be talked about. Like this. Because like Zemo times 2 said, it's best to talk about the things that you like and not the things that you don't like.
Yeah, it's rather commonsensical.
It's the Bucho effect. You know?
It's the make yourself happy effect.
Or keep your balance. Balance is key, everyone. Find your balance and hold on to it. So, NWA Back to the Attack. You can see the list of matches. We'll be going through them probably quickly. So, let's start off. Opening match. Jax Dane versus Slice Boogie versus Jordan Clearwater versus Crimson.
Alright, so quickly. Jax Dane, decent name. Okay? Nobody went to school with Jax Dane, you know, when they were in elementary school. Slice Boogie, name sucks. And you hear Slice Boogie, you think about some asshole gyrating, and it's not what this dude was, so I don't know what the fuck is up with that. Jordan Clearwater, he sounded like the little dude in 6th grade you went to middle school with. And then lastly, Crimson, he sounded like a wrestler.
Yes. Okay. Now, here's my thing. Jax Dane, it's alright. Yeah. I thought it was a girl. When they mentioned, I wasn't looking at the pictures or anything, I was just listening. Jax Dane, I'm like, okay, sounds like a good name for her. And then against Slice Boogie, and I was like,
no.
I was like, well, she's not gonna get over with that kind of name. You know, what in the world? You know, Kimbo Slice is dead. He's gone. It sucks, but his name will live on. And then for those that actually care. And Jordan Clearwater, I'm like, I like the name. It sounds like a Texan name to me.
Yeah, it's a great name. You know, if you live with life. Not if you're wrestling.
There's nothing wrong with it. It sounds like somebody that would hold a title. It sounds like a champion's name. It sounds like the name of a champion. I like that. You could hear that being announced. You know, someone, the National Wrestling Alliance heavyweight champion, Jordan Clearwater.
You need to put something in the middle of it or something.
Well, damn, man.
Something.
Why are you so evil?
I'm not evil. But some names don't sound like wrestlers.
What the hell? Okay, Crimson. Someone needs to pull out some paper and color.
No. It's not Crimson Crayon.
I know. Crimson, that's a good wrestling name.
Yeah.
We first saw him when he was same height, but a little thinner in TNA when Amazing Red was like, I've got a little brother. And then the next week, Crimson come out. We're like, that dude ain't little. So I found that humorous. Mm-hmm. and Crimson impressed us then.
Yeah.
And he's still impressive.
Mm-hmm.
He's also matured, so he doesn't go all over the place. He's composed. I like that.
Yeah.
Now, it was mentioned that Jax Dane and Crimson were a tag team. Okay, cool. I was like, how y'all gonna do this? Slice Boogie. I was like, okay. So it's a fatal 4-way. First win, it's over. And just to be honest with you, yeah, Slice Boogie wins. But the way they did it was everyone had their thing. They took their turn. Crimson and Jax show, hey, we are a tag team, but we are competitive, so we're going to mess each other up. And they let each other go. And they did great back and forth work. They looked really damn good.
Yeah.
Here's the thing. We know wrestling is a work. But you can, if you just chill and watch the match, you get lost. Mm-hmm. If you can get lost in it,
you're doing a good job.
Yes. And I was lost in it from the very first move of the match. Why? Because it didn't look stupid. It didn't look foolish. I was like, oh, what are they doing? Okay, they're finna wrestle. And I just relaxed. It was just so natural. I just fell right into it. Jordan Clearwater was the one thing that was keeping my head above water. Because I've seen how he worked in New Japan.
New Japan strong. Yeah, he works well.
I watched how he worked in AEW.
He was in AEW?
Yeah.
Really?
Yep. Just one match or two. I think one match. I saw it, and it won't put like this. New Japan strong. You didn't get to see too much of him, and then when you did, it was alright. And then you see AEW, and it was like, what happened? What I thought you trained. And then you see him in the NWA, and it's like, wow, your training has come a great distance to come. And then it's obvious, yeah, how much respect do you have? You know, that's in your own home where it's like a fucking pigsty. You don't take care of it because fuck it. You go to somebody else's home to keep it like immaculate, and you're gonna be like, whoa, I don't even know if I should touch the walls or sit down. Should I even walk in here? And then you got somebody's home that's kind of like not in the middle, but very close to spotless, but not sterile. And you're like, well, you know, you feel kind of comfortable and okay there. You know, not to knock over any soda. And then you got the home where you can tell somebody doesn't give a shit about what they do. And it looks kind of clean, but then something spills, they don't even clean it up. And you're like, okay, fuck this home. AEW was like, fuck this home. You know, New Japan was like mostly clean. NWA was sterile. That's what that is. You know, I can't even remember how this match ended because it's been what 2 days since we watched it.
Yeah, but a Slice Boogie won.
I know. I mentioned that earlier.
Crimson and Jax Dane did something and got themselves out the ring.
Yeah, that's what they did. They got pushed out the ring, and then
Jordan got in. Boogie put a move on him, got the pin.
There you go. Can't remember it because this match didn't seem that important. It was like a show filler. It was a show filler match.
It was an opening match.
It's pretty much, yeah, you know, and it sets the pace for the show. It sets the pace, just like Just Incredible and Blood Hunter. Was it a crap match? Yes, but it set the pace. Huh?
Craptacular.
It set the pace. The rest of the matches went at that pace, and that was good. It sets the pace. This set the pace, so it's not a bad match. It was good to watch. It's how you do a good fatal 4-way. You break up the tag team so nobody's with each other, and you can just chill. So then, okay, what are you finna do? She's throwing a piece of paper over at our daughter.
Turned off the light. Okay,
she got the headphones too high. I couldn't hear them because I'm talking.
That's not it.
Oh, the light? Turn the light off? Okay. Any case, so, but it was a good match. So, okay.
Next match.
Now, hold on. Let me say this.
Oh.
Everyone in this match to me is worthwhile to be in professional wrestling. At least under the NWA or SWE or Ring of Honor banner. They wrestle like that. That's good. You want a wrestler and the companies to be respectable so the wrestler can be interchangeable to the company. Because Kenny Omega coming to any one of them doesn't look right. It's not about how he look. It's just his. You don't need someone coming in and say, wow, look at them. They never break character. You don't need that. You don't need someone coming out saying, yeah, there was a money mark that we took advantage of them. You don't need that. You don't need someone coming in with a black eye and say, hey, look at that. That's real damage. You don't need that. That discredits everything. I want to slap that motherfucker something. Okay, so the next match, we got Kratos versus Tyrus. All right. Tyrus walks out. You want to handle that?
Yeah, he walks out and starts talking to the announcer, and he's like, how you going to bring me to NWA and not give me an interview? And the interviewer didn't have anything to say.
Nothing.
Like, I'm used to it, though. I'm used to kind of treatment. So, you know what I do? I take my interview. I'm done. And he gets in the ring.
He gets in the ring, and him and Kratos have a big man slobber knocker type match.
Yep.
They get down with the get down.
You can tell that Tyrus is a grizzled veteran.
Yes. Until he getting old.
It was a big man's match. It was good though.
It was good.
He
nothing looked weak.
Kratos came out with a wrapped elbow. Let me tell you, when your elbow hurt, you can't grip worth a shit.
Yep, your gripper done.
Your gripper is done. So he got a target on his elbow, and Tyrus took advantage of it.
Yep, not in the beginning, but once he tried to do something and hurt his arm, and Tyrus was like, "Okay, I heard my mating call,"
and he just went to fucking that arm up.
Yep, and
I felt for that elbow.
And they did some things where it could have been finishers because of the impact.
Yeah,
the moves were simple, but there was so much impact
because they beat me in.
Yeah. But then Tyrus comes out the corner. He walks kind of fast and delivers an elbow drop. Now, it was basically like, it was almost a Dusty Rhodes elbow drop. And he hit hard. And it looked good. Mm-hmm. And he got the win with it. He got the win, got his chain back on and left. I'm like, this dude could be a force. And Tyrus, just to be honest with you, I can hear that as a champion's name.
Yes.
Kratos.
I can too.
I can. It depends on the level of the title.
Hey, he sounds like a damn wrestler.
Yes, he does.
If he pull out his license, we're not gonna see Kratos. If Jordan Clearwater put out his license, you just might see Jordan Clearwater.
He
look like a damn Jordan Clearwater.
At least he look like his name. Will you get off the man's back?
Need a wrestler name.
What the? This is what I got to deal with, people. This is what I got to deal with. So then we get to the National Wrestling Alliance, for some reason, World Television Championship. I wish they would just take world out of all that stuff. It's only people in the damn. You know what? Actually, nope. Not yet. I would just call it the Television Championship. I would. Because if people did what they're supposed to do, keep their ass inside for 3 to 4 months, order their food and stuff, and essential workers can deliver it and whatnot, make sure it's all clean and virus free, and do that for 3 or 4 months, then everything could get back to normal, which I don't want personally, because normal sucks. Normal sucked. I don't want normal. I want better. I want evolved society. Sort of like when that person goes through training, come out of training a little more polished, get about 5 years on them, they're a little better, get another 5 years, and it's like, wow, who is this smooth person in the ring? You want evolved. You don't want people to stay green. You don't want that.
Yeah, when it's still green, it's usually not right.
It's not. And they keep making mistakes and hurting people and doing stuff, exposing everything.
You bite into it, it's all bitter
and they don't change.
Tasting.
And they just stay the same and stay the same. You don't want things to be normal. You want them to evolve and get better. Be smooth. Like Gary Coleman. That's our little inside joke. Oh man. Fridays. Was it Friday? The barbershop. Barbershop fucked us up. Smooth like Gary Coleman. Okay, so it's Pope, the champion, versus Tom Latimer, which honestly, Tom Latimer just sounds like someone that should be singing country.
Yeah, I agree with that. And he's no longer in the tag team anymore, so he's just
he's not in the faction, so he's just on his own.
Yep.
Let me tell you though, now Pope, we watched him, when he was the Pope, and I used to call him Black De Niro, Robert De Niro, but he was D'Angelo De Niro,
I don't know what the hell his name is now. We just know he's Pope.
Yeah, he's Pope because Pope is pimping. Pope didn't lose. He didn't. He won.
No, he didn't.
You know how he won? Because it was a draw. It went the whole time limit, this match. And I'm going to tell y'all something. Hold on. Y'all need to understand. When people can wrestle, they know what they're doing. Even though you know their repertoire and when they should kind of get their finishing, they can still perform that long and go to a draw, and you're so lost, you don't even think about what they didn't do. Mm-hmm. That's how good these two are. That is amazing work. I love that. I'm telling you, NWA, man, it ain't failing. You know? And then, didn't Tom attack him at the end? No, don't think it was Afterbirth. No Afterbirth with this. Jim Cornette so got me saying that. I know. Post-match attack. You know, PMA. Pope showed that he don't need a belt to show that he's a champion.
Yeah.
He's kind of like that. But Pope got back in shape, trimmed down, which is good. He got back in his normal speed. He can hold his own in that ring at any given moment. He can wrestle any style he needs, and I like that. So you don't know which Pope you're going to get depending upon, and that's a good thing.
It is. Versatility is important.
And it's good to see him, you know, as their world television champion. And so that was a good match. I think it was great. Yeah. So now we move on to the fourth match, which is the number one contenders in the female division, which is Thunder Rosa versus Camille. You hear a name like Camille, you just like, oh man, job, you know. But you know, she's not. Thunder Rosa. It's going to be hard in the women's division to actually have a longevity champion.
Although Thunder Rosa was champion for a long time.
She was because
it wasn't a pandemic. The pandemic.
Yeah, but at the same time, just think about it. The women's division got some great competition.
It does.
You know, so far everyone the NWA has shown is somebody where you're like, wow, why are you not champion somewhere? So that's a good sign. That's a good thing. Now, Camille, we watched her. She's been a trained wrestler for a while, but we watched her grow in the ring. It's one thing to wrestle privately and you do your thing and you get good, but you in front of people, all that kind of gets shot in the back.
Yeah.
So you got to work your way up. And we watched her in her first match where you could tell she was making lots of mistakes, but she got over. You know, the job was to be a heel. We watched her second and her third match. Okay, we watched her fourth match, to us anyway, here. And while there were very few slip-ups, because nobody's perfect, there's going to be slip-ups. A lot of slip-ups you wanted to look as if it's natural to the situation and not, you know, something that doesn't belong.
Uh-huh.
So Camille had maybe 2 or 3 of those. And that ain't gonna disqualify her from any means. No, she's great. Camille is great. Thunder Rosa is amazing.
Yes. They both have phenomenal pacing.
Very great pacing. Cedra called that mess out just right. Phenomenal pacing. Mm-hmm. They both could tell the story in that ring. They both get something happen. They wrestle like they hated each other.
The moves were impactful.
Yes.
It wasn't a bunch of and lots of hair flying about. It wasn't all that.
Camille wrestled like she didn't give a damn about that pretty hair of hers.
They won't make any attempts to be sexy. There was no ass shaking or gyrating.
They didn't spank each other.
Rope straddling.
Yep. They didn't spank each other, none of that crap. No, they wrestled. They wrestled like professional wrestlers should. They got the job done.
Like damn hell wrestlers.
I'm going to say this. Thunder Rosa laid in a chop onto Camille and lit her ass up.
Yeah.
Hurt her own hand. Because she ain't, normally it's hey, shake it out. Show them that it might have stung you. Yeah, she did that, but then she kind of didn't let it go.
Yeah,
it's almost like her hand was tingling. Yeah, and my whole thing was Camille has got to get her back.
She didn't ever really get her back.
She never got her back. I was like, it don't matter what you do, Camille. It don't matter. It doesn't matter. You have got to get her. You can stomp on her eyeball until it breaks out. It won't matter. You got to get her back. But she won't get in the back. I'm like, you got to get her back with general principle. Just potato her one good time. And it won't be enough, but it'll send a message. I was lost in this match. Camille is from North Carolina. And they announced her from Durham, North Carolina. She held up the bull horns. She held them up, and I'm like, she's from our state. She's from a little known area in our state.
That's awesome.
Don't nobody know about Durham. Don't nobody know what that is. It's like Wyoming, and that's a whole state.
Folks know what Wyoming is.
No, they don't.
Yes, they do.
There's a volcano with some land on it.
Some people live in Wyoming, a couple.
Yeah. A couple. And when they get divorced, it's going to be fucked. Nobody lives in Wyoming. And if somebody listens and say, I live in Wyoming, you lying. You're a liar. No, you ain't. So, she's repping North Carolina, and Thunder Rosa, from Thunder Bay, was it in Mexico?
I don't remember.
Thunder Isle, God damn it! I'm mad because she only mentioned it once, and I am not going back into the archives to find it. But when I heard it, I was like, "Ooh, that kind of sexy." Thunder Row. That's what it was. So that match, good. Enjoy. And I was stunned at the winner. It was Camille.
Yeah, I was too.
She put the spear on, and she put it on, and she was getting up, and she was like pinning, and I was like, no, something tells me it ain't. Once you got to get it back for that chop. But it was a spear, but it won't yeah. So she set up for the second one. I was like, she about to miss, and she gonna get rolled up, and she hit her and pinned her, and I was like, oh. So they're trying to build Camille as this. She's lean, she's tall, she's highly athletic, but they're trying to build her as a monster. But the problem is everyone else is so gifted, and they got weight to them. They aren't some diva. They got weight to them, so they look like a competitor. So Camille can't be built as this monster.
Yeah.
And if I were them, I would not try to build her as a power type wrestler. She would be a stiff, strong style, technical wrestler. That's what I would do for her. And just because a woman has long legs don't mean she can do middle kicks in the corner. Stacy Cuba can teach you that. In any case, Camille won, and it was a good win. And I actually got a gripe about Camille.
What?
She doesn't do that little head lilt stare at the camera.
Okay.
I missed that.
I mean,
I missed it. I know it's part of the gimmick of not talking, but I missed that. It was cute, but it was also with that look of, I'm about to do something. And I missed that. Because it's like, she's going to do something, then she might attack somebody. I missed that. She need to get that back. So, I know, granted, it should be, hey, Thunder Rosa, the face should have won. The heel shouldn't. I get it. But I can't leave this mindset of being just for the show, the performer, the wrestler, the athlete, the competitor, the warrior in that ring. It's just, thank you for being there. Thank you for allowing us to see you. I'm glad you won because you worked the hardest at that time. You were the better wrestler at that time. That's how I see it. There are certain people I don't want them to win. There are. And it sucks that none of them are on this show. So, we got the next match. NWA National Heavyweight Championship champion Trevor Murdoch versus Chris Adonis, formerly Chris Masters. I like Chris Adonis more. Still, his finisher is still called the Master Lock, because it's not a play on his name per se, but on the company, Master Lock, for making locks. They could be sued, trademark, patent pending, but they aren't using locks to lock a locker, so maybe that's how they get away with it.
Yeah, it's a wrestling hole.
So, Trevor Murdoch is the brawler, the puncher, the kicker, the knee driver.
And the technical wrestler.
Today, this event, he wrestled. He wrestled the power gruff wrestler, Chris Adonis. And this match, it was really good.
It was really good.
It was really good. I do not like Murdoch's finisher.
What's his finisher?
Diving bulldog off the top like Rick Steiner.
Oh.
RS, in Japan they call it RS or Rick Steiner bulldog. Or diving headlock hold or something. I've heard both of those. I don't like it because the opponent or the defender has to set themselves up to take the move. And they have to set themselves up in the way that they would not get up in the first place. You spend the whole time getting up facing your opponent, and then this time you get up facing away and groggy where a point you wouldn't be groggy any other time. That's the only reason why I don't like this move. And it's a good move, but there's got to be a better way to apply it. You see what I'm saying? It's got to find something, and they're doing the best that they can, And someone say, "Well, if they ain't doing it, then why don't you come up with something?" And you know what? The truth is, I can't. To be honest with you, I can't. I don't like it, but I understand why they do what they do. So it's not a turnoff, and it can't be a turnoff because they're doing the best that they can with what they got. And they got to make it as believable as possible. So Murdoch has to get up on that top rope fast.
Yeah.
And when the dude gets up, he's got to be jumping off. He can't be staggering for a long time.
Or it's going to look terrible. Well,
yes.
And he can't be slow getting up there either.
So it's got to be speedily. But this match was not really back and forth. Murdoch had to come back quite a bit.
Yeah.
And Chris Adonis, I'm glad to see him back in the ring. He got screwed over by WWE.
Which is the case for many.
Yep. He got humiliated on camera multiple times, primarily by Triple H. He was done. Once he lost the weight so that he's not all, bad health, they just humiliated him on TV, and that wasn't right. And so I'm glad to see him back in the ring.
With his strangely shaped body.
His body is not strangely shaped.
All right.
You're talking about his ass.
I'm talking about his proportion.
What? His arms match his length?
He
look like he could wipe his ass?
That's great. He's got a long ass torso from the front. And in the back, he's got a long back. But then he's got this big low butt. And his legs aren't stubby, but because of his butt, they look like they're stubby. It's funny. You look at him, your mind's like, ooh, this don't make sense.
You're gonna give this man a complex.
He ain't gonna hear me. I'm sure that he is well adjusted with his jiggly booty. He
is very self-conscious about his feet. So how is he gonna feel hearing you, a woman, talk about his body like this?
His feet.
Hey, I shoot interview I heard and it stuck in my head.
He's a self-conscious about. I can't see his feet and feet. Feet are feet.
He was trying to film his feet with his shoes off. He was like, hey, don't do that. He was all, you can hear but you can hear I will hit you in your face at the same time. You can hear it. It's like, don't do that. I will knock you the fuck out. You can hear it. You can hear it. I was like, oh. But Murdoch, he out wrestled him. He slipped out the full Nelson attempt. And got him up into a wheelbarrow Rana from the ground. 1, 2, 3. And Murdoch retains his title, and then Adonis with the post-match attack.
Yeah, Murdoch tried to, be a good sportsman, shake his hand, and Chris shook his hand and started kicking his ass.
Like a heel should.
Like a heel should. It was a great after the match jumping.
Yeah.
He put
PMA,
him in
post-match attack.
He put him. What did he put? He was a full Nelson slam.
Yeah, full Nelson slam.
It was nice.
And then he picked him up into a seated full Nelson. You know,
and just wrenched on it.
Yep.
And the referees got in the ring. They said, "Stop it! That's a bad Chris.
Do that.
Don't do that.
Mean." He's like, "What you gonna do about it?"
Good loser.
He's like, "We're gonna run around and jump out this ring. That's what we're gonna do about it."
Jumped out the ring, and then they slid back in. They said no, and he was like, "All right."
Yeah,
I made my point.
Y'all ain't gonna leave me alone anyway.
You know, and the bald man brigade came in. He left.
Every bald person in the locker room that's a staff member came out. It's like, "You want to work for the NWA? Yeah. Do you have hair? No. All right, you hired. Do you have hair? A little bit. Let's see the rest of your resume."
Billy Corgan ain't got any hair, so that's probably why.
Ha. So next,
he wants to be amongst his own.
So next, we've got Austin Idol joining the broadcast team with Tim Storm, who's not happy at all.
So apparently, in some match at some point, Austin Idol was I think he said Nick Aldis's corner.
Yeah.
To aid in Tim Storm losing, and Tim was not happy about this dude being out there, and I really don't blame him, because even for a damn wrestler, he talked too goddamn much. It's like, shut up and get to the match. Didn't nobody pay their money on Fight TV to watch Austin Idol talk?
But it was entertaining.
After the first,
it was
3
annoying.
minutes,
it was annoying. He came off as an asshole.
I was ready for the clicker.
And you wanted to hit him, didn't you? You was like, somebody go out and jump that man. He did his job well. He did his job well. If you ever want to know how Austin Idol was when he was a wrestler, how he did his promos, you get to see it. And I like that.
I just want to let you know, and this is going to sound like a really, really big asshole, I have never wondered how the fuck he was. Not never. Not one bit of interest. I didn't know who the fuck it was when NWA Power first came back on YouTube. I'm like, who the hell is this? I thought he was some made up dude like the question mark.
Okay. 4 years between us, y'all. I had heard of Austin Idol growing up, and then just, and look, when you're a kid, you're like, and you just forget about it. You forget about everything, and then listen to Jim Cornette talk about Austin Idol and could he replace Hogan and what would have happened and all this other stuff that it was going over, and hearing Jim Cornette's opinion of it. With obviously a lot of his expertise and background, especially being there in certain areas at the time. Yeah, I was like, who is this guy? What was his promos like? So he gets to come out and annoy the living shit out of you. And that's cool. So to me, I get to see, oh, this is how he was. Okay, he can go away now. Mm-hmm. But
taking time away from the damn match.
He was also got a delay for certain things. They just wanted. Sometimes they send people out. It's like, there's a slight delay. Can you go out there and stall for about 3 to 4 minutes? And he is good.
He did it.
And Tim Storm's looking like, man, I don't want to be near him, but I would really like to hit him.
Mm-hmm.
So
I really like for him to not be here anymore.
I don't have to be the cause of it, just so long as there is a cause of it. So the final match is the National Wrestling Alliance World Heavyweight Championship. The current champion, Nick Aldis, versus Aaron Stevens. Now, this match was built up from the beginning of the show. And what I like about the commentary of this show, they didn't talk about the final match all the time.
Nope, not at all.
They barely really talked about it. They talked about what went on in the ring. They mentioned the wrestler's name. The match was called at little points, and they told you who was doing what. You get to know who is who. You hear a small background. You get to follow a story, an emotional one of anyone in that ring. And Aaron Stevens, would he have been getting this shot, sadly, if his friend and whatnot had not died?
Probably not.
So the Aaron Stevens that come out, as I told Cedra, he's not going to win this match. He's not. Mm-hmm. But they're going to show you a way to put over someone that was a jokester as a joking heel. They're going to put him over as a serious competitor. So my thing was to see how they're going to do this. And they talked about it. They hyped you up for it. They set you up for it. Yeah, we're going to see a different, Aaron Stevens. He's going to have to come at, Aldis, like kind of bullheaded. He's going to have to wrestle him, get him down that mat, and break him down. They talked about this stuff on and off. And I like that because it sets you up mentally for what type of match you're going to see.
Yeah.
So when he comes out there, I'm already in tears before he get out there. I am messed up because when they open up the program, he's talking about, the question mark and stuff. I just rather call him that. That was his last gimmick.
And talking directly to the question mark son.
And I am messed up. Mm-hmm. I am tears. I am choked up. I can't talk. My throat is too messed up. Okay. And then when he's coming out for the match, oh my God, I'm getting kind of messed up now. He comes out and I just wanted to cry. I'm like, I'm like, this guy right now is the super baby face of NWA wrestling. Mm-hmm. You don't get a bigger baby face at this time than Aaron Stevens. And then Aldis comes out with that music, looking the way he do. When he says that, he mean it. He mean it. That belt, the one he calls Sweet Charlotte, and the homage to Flair, and the homage to, where that belt was defended a lot. He matched that belt. Tight jacket, boots, and he wasn't so tanned that he looked, black. He wasn't so tanned that he almost looked like, some dyed orange. He looked like he should.
And his hair looked decent. It wasn't like a tuft on top and shaved all the way around.
They was messing up trying to fix it though.
Man, I don't know who suggested that was a good style for all the white men of the world, but they were just wrong. They're wrong.
Aldis came out. Now hold up, let me back up. Aldis, he put over Aaron Stevens. He put over all the champions and defenders. Mm-hmm. He put himself over, but most importantly, he put over the company.
Yeah.
Aldis put on a promo at the beginning of the show. I'm like, I am feeling this. I love the NWA. The NWA needs to only do one thing. Apologize to Jim Cornette. Why? It's not for getting rid of him. It's for throwing him under the bus and they don't have to take any heat. They threw him under the bus and got rid of him. And Jim Cornette is so magnanimous. He's like, you can be mad at the owner. Fuck that guy. But don't get mad at the whole NWA. Those people need to eat.
Yeah.
So, yes. But they need to apologize to Jim Cornette. They need to apologize to him wholeheartedly. Now, getting on with this match. Nick Aldis tried to wrestle this match.
Yes, he did.
Aaron Stevens tried to bullhorn his way through this match. He showed in this match that he is a stiff wrestler. He can wrestle. He's not trying to do the fake BS martial arts and all that stuff. Aaron Stevens was he could have been the heel. He really could have. Because he just stayed on him.
Yep.
He did not give him time to breathe. These two stayed in almost perpetual motion throughout the whole match. That's not easy to do. That's not easy to stay in perpetual motion throughout the match with extreme little to no rest. Okay? Wear down holes, yes, good you use them. But it doesn't look like you're resting when you do it, so that's great. The points of talking were, I could see when they were doing it, but if you're just wrapped up in the match, you'd never notice. So that's amazing and that's good. They called the match in the ring. It wasn't pre-planned. You could tell. There's a difference. When a match is pre-planned, you can see them wait for their spots. They gear up and get ready. It's too obvious. But this was perpetual motion. It was called during one move to the next. It was called during the backups before an Irish whip or a hammer throw. It was called during a headlock takeover. This match was beautiful. This right here showed Aaron Stevens can and may and mayhap should belong in that world title scene.
You have to keep performing at this level.
Yes, he has to, like Cedric said, he has to stay at this level. He has to stay here. He
can't go back to the mid-card comedy.
Can't do it. He can still do it. He can still do the Mongrove. He can still do all that and rep that, but to stay at this level, you know.
He's going to have to wrestle people like Tom Latimer and stuff like that.
He's got to wrestle those people that look and act and portray themselves as top-tier contenders.
Or in top-tier heels, like Chris Adonis. He's going to have to wrestle folks like that.
And you don't have to win all of them. He just has to look good doing it.
Mm-hmm.
Nick Aldis, Cedric ain't happy with him, but he deserves that belt.
I'm happy with him as long as he's not talking. Now, since
Damn,
since NWA is back, he may, move forward with a different sort of. We don't know whether he's going to be a face or heel, so we don't know how he's going to present himself. So the promo he gave at the beginning of this show was really good, but the promos he was giving before the pandemic, they were crap. They were craptacular, and he was becoming a sniveling heel.
Yeah, because he was trying to work with people, and he was literally out of his element. He was out of his element. Aldis is a solo.
Let him be solo.
But him working with the others, we'll have to see. Maybe because sometimes you got to go learn to do different style of promo.
Yeah. So we'll see. That's how it was. We'll see how it is going forward.
Yep. At one point, Aldis got on the Texas Clover Hole, and I was like, Aaron's about to tap.
I didn't think he was gonna tap. And
then he pulled him away from them ropes. I was like, oh no. Normally that's the pull of doom.
Yeah, but he didn't have it on. It was like
he had on like The Rock.
Yeah, it was half-assed, and Aaron's body was still parallel with the mat.
When he first drug him out and sat down, I thought that was going to be it. And then he lurched forward just a little bit. Then everything straightened out on Aaron Stevens.
Yeah,
and that let me know, he ain't gonna give up. And he pulled himself to the ropes. He got free. He was making the comeback.
He hurt Aldis's arm. At least that's what was portrayed.
Yeah.
And after Aldis's arm got hurt, he kind of kicked it into high gear. Like, yep, it's time to take this home.
Yep. I wish he had got in those corner elbow strikes.
Oh yeah, I do too. Those always feel so good.
But I'm gonna say this: what I've noticed, whenever he's in a match where he does get those strikes on, he wins.
Yeah, that's true.
So that's a tell. I'm informing y'all that could be a tell. It's certain things that wrestlers do and don't do where you can tell they are going to win or lose that match.
And so when they don't do it, when they don't pull everything out of the repertoire, it's like, oh, okay, I see what's going to happen.
Yep.
Case in point, Sonata.
Exactly. So the match does go on, and it gets to the point where it's like, you know what? Aaron gets a hold of him. He tries to snap that arm down. Aldis holds onto the ropes. Aaron hits the mat, pops up. He's like, oh my goodness. And then I think that's when Aldis tried to get the figure 4 on him. Aaron rolls him up for the small package. Aldis rolls him over and away from the ropes. And as soon, because CJ had to play it again. And I was like, good grief, we had a small talk about it. But I thought it was a 2 count. No. As soon as Aaron Stevens' shoulder touched the mat,
the ref was counting.
The ref counted 1. I mean, it was mat touch 1. He didn't. Normally, the ref has to let the shoulders get set. No, it was as soon as it touched the mat 1, and then it was set 2, 3. But still, even with that showing, I was proud of Aaron. That's the first time I have seen Aaron Stevens wrestle a whole match. Seriously. He's been wrestling a long time, but he gets it. He knows what he's doing. And I underestimated him. My bad. That man proved that he He's world title worthy in my opinion. Nick Aldis put him over. He put himself over. He put Aldis over. It was a professional wrestling match. Ergo, they both put the NWA over.
Yep.
And that's what you need. Both wrestlers make each other look good and displaying that the company is worth your time. And when it was over, they showed the flag. They did all that stuff. Monrovia, they did that for the question mark.
Yep. And they closed the show.
Yep. Beautiful. Yep. Before I end up crying some more, because I'm already there. I hope y'all enjoyed this. If y'all like this, let me know. Let me know. Hopefully I didn't miss anything. I like doing this. I do. She just thought I should, and she, yeah. We'll do more.
And we got shows to watch, thankfully.
Yep.
It was kind of grim for a while there.
I just hope they stay COVID free.
Yep.
And if anyone ever in the NWA hears this, I want to personally thank all the staff that do wear masks. I know sometimes you just don't want to, or maybe you've been checked out and they do certain things to make sure it's clear that you don't have to. I get that. Okay. Just don't be stupid about it. So for all those that wore masks during the event, that's a referee or any other staff agency, thank you. You're doing your part to help stop this pandemic. You're part of the solution, not the problem. And I appreciate that. So with that said, this has been Cedric and Cedra for CR Wrestling Commentary on NWA Back to the Attack. Good night, everyone.